Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego DC Superheroes Superman and Krypto Team Up set. This is set number 76096. It has 199 pieces, and I paid $50 for this. This is one of the ones I got at kind of a charity thrift store kind of Lego event, and this was really interesting. So this is a set from 2018. It is retired. It retailed, I think, just for $20 back in the day, in 2018 when this was maybe coming out, but this set goes for maybe 40 to 50. 50 is what I paid. Some people might be even up to $70, $75. Some major online retailers have it listed for over $100. There is somebody on eBay that is selling just one of the figures from this set for over $30. I think the cheapest one sealed of this set in the US for Bricklink is up at around $75. So this is a really interesting set. It's pretty small. And the $20 price point probably makes sense in 2018. That's probably good. I don't know for sure, but I think potentially this is the only set that this character Lobo appears in, and occasionally when something like that happens, that figure can be worth a good amount of money, and that might be where this figure alone is worth $20, let's say, or something like that to collectors, and that very well may be. But this just looked like an interesting set. I don't have a ton of Superman stuff from Lego. I just don't know how many sets they really do. I feel like it's a lot more Batman stuff, but interested to see this. And so in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build process for this Lego DC Superheroes Superman and Krypto Team Up set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That stuff's helped me a lot. It means a lot to me. And then I wanted to talk about the build. So we start off here with kind of a side build, kind of not. It's kind of a main feature, but the colors are really nice. The translucent green is great. A couple stickers on there, some different functionality kind of things, and the shape is nice for that, but it's pretty small. And then we can start working on Lobo's Space Hog, which is kind of this motorcycle-esque, chopper-esque spaceship here, which is really cool. And so we build like the main fuselage kind of area there with those smokestacks or exhaust pipes. We add on these boosters on the side, or these propulsion units. Then we can start building up the seat and the sitting area, plus the front, where like the front wheel of a motorcycle would go, but this is like a space ship, so we do that, and then we finish up. So now on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is this Lego DC Superheroes Superman and Krypto Team Up set. This is pretty cool. I think it's interesting that this is from 2018. I believe the Krypto figure is brand new, first made for this set, and it wasn't till I think years later that there was an actual Justice League of Super Pets animated movie or something like that. So this predates that by a little bit. So cool to get that figure. I don't know if the Krypto figure is also potentially valuable, if Lobo is, if this version of Superman is. I don't really know, but that's a possibility here. But we will get into this, and the first thing we will look at is the minifigures, because you do get some, and they're potentially where a lot of value for this set kind of comes in. So the first one we will take a look at is Superman. So this is a pretty basic Superman. We do have kind of a classic Clark Kent hairstyle up here, kind of an angry face there, and then they do have an alternate face, which is a little more classic, kind of smiling Superman, good-natured Superman, not maybe too worried about stuff. We have the blue torso with the Superman logo, the abs in there, the belt, all of that stuff is good. Nothing on the arms, nothing on the midsection, it's just that it's red, and then nothing on the legs. We do have the cape, it's got 2 holes, but it is the kind of flimsier cloth there. Looking at the back of the torso, we have some musculature, a little bit of the back, this kind of spine area, and then the belt on the bottom. So actually not a crazy Superman figure. It's a pretty standard one. You know, it's one of those things where I see like a Spider-Man figure and they just have blue legs sometimes, or something like that. And I don't know if, you know, Superman, this is pretty classic looking for them, so I don't know what it would be like to have more detail on the legs or something, but it's just something to point out. This is somewhat standard, but I think good, you know, in general. I think it's, you know, recognizable and everything. The next one we will look at is Krypto, the super dog. So this is really neat. It does have its own cape. It's smaller. It only has 1 hole, but it is the same color, made out of the same cloth, kind of that flimsier kind of cloth, not the really starchy kind. And then Krypto is 2 pieces. So we have the body here, which I believe is a new mold for Krypto. I don't think it's been used for any other animal. Kind of has 1 paw up, has a clip here, and then we can stud the other feet down, have the tail. There's 1 stud on the back there. And then we have the head as a separate piece, and the head is, I want to say, dual molded, although it could just be printed, but the head is really nice. It does have the collar here with the Super Dog S or Superman S there, which is nice, and I can't tell if that's actually yellow plastic or if it's just printed. It may be printed, although maybe the actual like emblem, the actual kind of collar thing with the S is actually molded yellow plastic. I'm not 100% sure. It's a little hard to tell, but that's very, very cool to get. Whether it's printed or it's molded, it looks good. It looks great to be able to see that collar. Then looking at the face, I think this is a new mold for the head as well. Well, especially considering the collar, but the head is really nice and expressive. We got the dark nose up here, the eyes, the eyebrows, little floppy ears. The mouth is just molded in there. I maybe would have liked, I don't know if printing for the mouth would have looked good or anything like that, but overall this is a pretty cool Krypto figure. And then the last minifigure, which I think is maybe the one that is somewhat valuable here, is Lobo. So Lobo is a DC villain, and this may be the only time that Lobo has appeared in Lego, so that's kind of interesting, and I don't know exactly Lobo's deal. He's a bounty hunter, an alien, and made a live action debut in 2019 premiere episode of the 2nd season of the television series Krypton. I haven't seen that, but is a kind of interesting DC Comics character. It was one that Stan Lee really liked, and they have kind of an interesting aesthetic. They are an alien. It's maybe a little bit hard to tell in the minifigure form. They're humanoid, but they're kind of like gritty. Some of this stuff reminds me of, well, not Punisher necessarily, but something like that. It's kind of got a thing. I think this is kind of mostly a villain, but I don't know if he's ever been kind of an anti-hero or anything like that. So, but I think he's somewhat popular in some respects, so that's pretty cool. And we can take a look at this. So we have this hair. He kind of looks to me like a rock and roll guy or something. So we have the long hair, which is pretty typical black hair. Looking at the face, you can kind of see some of the more maybe extraterrestrial features for Lobo here. So it's like a white minifigure head, I believe, or maybe kind of a pale bluish kind of something. He does have almost like what looks like clown makeup. He's got a little bit of like 5 o'clock shadow, some facial hair, kind of a mustache. You can see the face, and then the eyes have this really unique kind of shape form. So good detail on there. We also do have an alternate face, which is Lobo, grimacing a little more. They both look kind of freaky, kind of scary. The eyes are different on this one, a little bit of a furrowed brow. I like the smile one here a lot. Looking at the torso, he's wearing kind of like a leather, almost like a biker kind of thing here. So there's some silver with the vest, with the chains and stuff like that. He's got a belt with a little crest around there that kind of looks like a skull. He's got a chain around his neck. Behind that, the printing for the color is pretty noticeably different from the arms and the minifigure head. So that could have used being a little more opaque, not as transparent. So the color feels a little bit weird there in the torso, although I suppose those could be sleeves, but I think that's supposed to be skin tone, and I think this is supposed to be kind of a sleeveless vest. And if that's the case, then yeah, the torso kind of printing for the middle there, printing the white or whatever that is on black, isn't done super well. Nothing on the midsection, nothing on the legs. That kind of fits. This character has different looks. For this one, I think I would have liked to see a little bit printing on the legs. Looking at the rear, we have kind of the back of this sort of biker leather vest that says the main man, and it has kind of a Lego minifigure skull with some wings coming off of it, some kind of rivets on the belt there, which continues around. So that's all pretty cool. I think this Lobo minifigure is probably somewhat sought after for people, just because it's, I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it may be the only time Lobo's been made into a Lego minifigure form. They do have this kind of this energy infuser here, so it uses one of the clear pieces to clip to their hand, some red translucent stud, red translucent tile, and it's this pearl gold piece, but that is printed, so it has kind of that gold printing on top of it, which is really cool to see. That's kind of an accessory there. And those are the 3 minifigures, and then the first thing you build is this kind of Kryptonite prison. So this is pretty cool. The idea here is that maybe Superman is trapped and kind of walled in by Kryptonite, and so that's what's going on here. It's an interesting little build. Starts with a 4x4. We do attach some of these kind of like A-frame plates, the angled plates there. Add out to some of this here, tapering off. We do have these nice green slopes. I like that green color a lot. Some stickers. There are 4 stickers in this set. So on this side, we have one on the slope that says kind of Max and has a little skull circle thing in there. And then on the other one, we have kind of a diagram of maybe Superman and a little thing of Kryptonite, and I think a Lex Luthor sort of emblem there, a big L on there. So that might be who made this kind of prison or jail out of Kryptonite. We do use some of the translucent green discs, and then it comes with a bunch of these translucent green kind of splat elements that appear when they're in a pre-packaged bag. So they do have some extras, which can be used to kind of customize some stuff and make it look like these characters are shooting kryptonite things at each other or whatever. But we do use 2 of them in there, which is kind of cool. I like how this looks. This under here. I think that's like pearl gold with those vented slopes, which is cool. The vents on the side there. There are clips here and here. Same on the other side. I'm not sure if those are really used for anything in this set, but they may be used in something else. And then above that, we kind of have these two kind of prison walls made out of the translucent green that are a kind of the jail cell, the prison there. So there's these nice kind of canopy pieces, translucent pieces clipped on there, and there's a spot in here using one of those friction pieces to go between the minifigure's legs. So they're not studded down, but they are held in there, and we can kind of close that up. And with that amount of kryptonite in front of Superman and behind him, and whatever these pillars are doing out on the side, he's pretty well locked in there, which is cool to see. It's a pretty small build, but nice. And then the rest of the build is this vehicle, which is Lobo's Space Hog, which is like a kind of like a chopper, like a bike. It reminds me of something. Wasn't there a Ghost Rider bike with a mech there? It's kind of similar to that. So it's like a spaceship. It doesn't have wheels, but it is really cool. And you start building this by building kind of the main, I want to say like fuselage area here, which is pretty cool, nicely designed, black and gray. So we start with this, add some clip pieces on the side. We build up the rear to accommodate some of these like gold exhaust pipe things or stacks or whatever these are. So those are using the Technic pinhole and a Technic brick there. There's some studs on the side, some bracket usages. There's also these ratchet hinges here, which hold kind of these like booster or sort of propulsion things here, and so that's cool. I like how the front is done using these flags clipped on there to kind of seal that up, and it tapers back, and then using this kind of fender piece in there is nice. Everything else up there is good. Then we add on, there's just one of those round plates in here with the hole in the middle, and then we add the cone on the back. We put one of those splat things in there, and there's some stuff in there. There's this small build, which is kind of this bomb sort of thing here, which looks like this, just a few pieces. Does have the ratchet clip, some translucent green, maybe kryptonite in there, some ingots on top, different stuff like that. And so there's kind of a function here with that. Without it in there, we can kind of see what's going on inside. That's sort of the cargo hold, for the munitions or whatever there. And so if we push in the kind of flame or the green propulsion coming out of the back of this, it will push out that bomb there. So this uses the clip. There's a clip inside right in here underneath that Technic pin axle piece there, and then that goes in between into this ratchet thing. So it's not a super strong connection. It's one that Lego's used for different things like this. It's sturdy enough that it won't like fall out if I shake this around, but it's also easy enough. It's not like clipping a bar into a clip, and so it just can kind of push it out like that, which is kind of a cool little function. I think it's nice because it looks cool with that in there, kind of fills up some empty space and makes this really look more like it's called a space hog, but it kind of like a motorcycle, like a chopper, like I don't know what else you would call them. So that's really good. Then you add on to these kind of rocket booster kind of things. These are a nice build. They're clipped on, so they're like a little bit adjustable there. You can kind of figure out what angle works best or looks best there. So that's really nice. And these are pretty simple. They do have the piece here, some inverted slopes, a couple brackets used in there. We use kind of one of these half pyramid pieces, and then this other slope piece that kind of overhangs a little bit. I like those in combination with each other. There's a big Technic axle going through here that's connected to this cone. This cone goes through that to these kind of pearl silver elements and then into the cone. the smaller cone piece there. And then we put one of those green splat elements in there as well. The other side is the same, so we can see those, which is very nice, very cool, and I kind of like them being a little bit tilted down. I think it looks good like that. And then we add on the top, so we start by putting some Technic stuff in here with a Technic brick with 2 pinholes. Use some stuff behind that. This slope here is really, really nice to, again, kind of convey the maybe gas tank of a motorcycle of some kind. There's a seat here. We got the steering kind of controls there, kind of a seat back here using one of these pieces that's like hard plastic, but then on the end is kind of flexible. It's the same piece that's used up here. We can see some of the exposed Technic on these, I don't know what they would call them, struts, or like, you know, what would be the kind of extension to the front wheel or something there. But it fits in with the kind of theme of this a little bit, and they do get covered up from the front by this, so I think that makes it cut really, really nicely there. We do have 2 stud shooters up top, the older style ones, and those have some green blasts, so I have 2 in there. You get 2 extras. Those are like Kryptonite blasting things that can be fired at Superman and Krypto there. And then we add on this bit on the end here, which does include, you know, this flexible kind of piece, the same kind of pieces here as on the kind of rocket boosters, and some pretty simple stuff, you know, some slopes down here, some studs on the side, bricks used there. Here's one of the stickers, so it's kind of this skull looking thing, which is really, really like kind of metal and spooky. So we have teeth and kind of fangs and horns there, but there's a sticker on that white Nexonite shield, and then it kind of has maybe Lobo's face or just a skull or something like that. We use like 2 of these kind of 3, well, they're 2 studs wide, but they have like 3 of the teeth coming off of them, so we put both of those on, and we add some of these bigger barb pieces, same around here. I think that looks really, really good. I think it totally reads like a bike, like a motorcycle, but a space one, which is very neat. And then the last thing you do is just add on this kind of seat back thing. So this, again, I already kind of pointed it out, it's a ratchet joint there. Lobo can sit right at the you know, connect their hands to the steering here, and then this can kind of be folded up and kind of be like the seat of the bike there, which is cool. It sticks up really, really far. And then on the back it says CPLJ 14. Now I don't know what that is a reference to. That might be the planet that Lobo is from. Could that be? Or what is that? Yeah, I'm not sure what that is supposed to mean. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. If you know what that is, please let me know. But that is a sticker as well. So those are the 4 stickers. The 2 on the kind of prison there, Lex Luthor stuff. This one on this inverted tile on the back that, you know, could maybe be easily missed. And then the one on the front there. So not too bad. I don't think any of those needed to be prints, really. Would have been cool if this one was. It's the Nexonite shield, but doesn't need to be. And then that's kind of this bike. And there's sort of some action and play kind of built into this. So one of the things that I didn't know when, you know, I bought this set is there's some additional kind of functionality here. So we can drop the bomb out of the Space Hog. So I push that in, we drop the bomb, and then there's something really cool that you can do when the bomb is pushed into the prison here, kind of where those vented slopes are. Then both of these pop off, and explode. Superman stays in there because of the friction piece between their legs, and then both pop off and they kind of fly off in different directions. They're just studded down. These 2x4s are just studded down on 2 studs each, so they're pretty easy to pop off. And this just, goes up in those slopes, and the slope here, those vented pieces, you could even do it from the back side as well. Puts enough, pressure to make both of those things kind of explode, which is maybe something to free Superman, but also kind of maybe to try to explode the prison with this bomb. So there's not any way that you could like fly this over and drop it out and it goes into there or anything like that. You do have to do it in like kind of 2 separate actions, but as as a play element, it's cool to have it like interact with one thing over here with this vehicle and interact with another thing there, and with a little imagination and a little play. I think that's really, really fun and really nice. I'm glad that has that interaction to kind of connect these a little bit more, which is really, really fun. And that's everything that's in this set. So here's the sticker sheet, and I'll show the extra pieces because you do get some. Like I said, you get some extra splat elements here, and we theoretically, I guess, I don't know if they always have to be Kryptonite, but maybe Krypto is going to clip onto something, or they could go in Superman's hands, or maybe in Lobo's hands, like these ones can go in a minifigure hand or something like that. There's no like hollow studs in this set here that as far as extra pieces go, but you could probably connect these different splat elements onto these pillar ones with a very minor alteration there, so you do get some extra pieces of that, which is nice. And then I'll show the rest of them. It is all of your 1x1s, your studs, your tiles, the barb here, Technic pin, the stud shooter thing there. You do get another one of the extra green projectiles, so you get 2 here, the 2 loaded into the stud shooters, and then another extra one there, the red stuff, the cheese wedge. So those are all your extra pieces. And this set is 199 pieces, 2 minifigures plus 1 Kryptonite figure, and I paid $50 for it. When I bought this, I wasn't really sure because I wasn't familiar with this set, and I was like, man, did I really, really overpay for that? But it was so unique, and I didn't know if maybe the Super Dog was some holding some value, or if Lobo was, or anything like that. And so I decided to scoop it up. It was brand new, sealed, retired, and it was one of the many things I purchased at that kind of charity thrift store Lego event. And I'm really glad that I did. On some level, if it retailed for $20 6 years ago, yeah, $20 would have been a great price, I actually think. And now seeing how this is moved in the aftermarket post-retirement because of maybe mostly the figures there, it seems like this has gone up a lot in value, even accounting for inflation. So if I'm seeing these go for 60, even 40, 50, 60, 70, up to $100, then paying $50 for it feels about fine. In terms of what I have here, I don't think this is really like a $50 Lego set based on just under 200 pieces, but when I consider like this Lobo figure itself might be $15, $20, $30 in the aftermarket, then that holds a lot of value, and then that brings me closer to about the $20 stuff, which for this I feel like is not too bad. I think this is probably a $10 to $15 thing, and this is relatively small but cool and has some good functionality. They're both cool builds and they look good, which I like. And then I have to give some amount of value to the figures in here. So I think when buying retired sets and sets with like very valuable figures, it can be a little bit weird. The Gungan sub sealed right now is that's from like the early 2000s, maybe 2002 or something, based off of the scene in the Phantom Menace, and that comes with a Queen Amidala figure, and that figure alone, I think, is, if it's in good condition, worth, you know, $200, $300, $400. So a sealed version of that set, because of that figure being in there, is really, really expensive. But if you were to build that set, I don't think I don't think I would come away from it saying, oh, this is a great $400 Lego set. It's maybe an $80 Lego set for the actual build and the other figures, but that Queen Amidala figure holds so much value. And so that's kind of interesting, you know. For $400, maybe you could get that set sealed, or you could get like you know, you could almost get the one of the Lord of the Rings sets that's new, or you could get one or possibly two modular buildings, or, you know, a lot of other things for that price, like huge things, big sets. But that one minifigure holds a lot of value, and if this is kind of a case here where apparently, as far as I can tell, Lobo holds some value, I don't feel too bad about what I paid for it, you know, $50, because if for whatever reason I wanted to just sell the figure off, and if I get $20 for it or $30 for it, and then my cost would have been like $20, I'm down a figure, but I get these cool builds. I still have the Superman, the Krypto, whatever. I think, you know, that kind of makes sense. Buying retired sets is weird. Sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down. When it's like a licensed thing like this, even if it's not terribly detailed, but if it's the only time it's appeared, you know, that's valuable to many people. And, you know, on some level it's valuable to me because the market has ascribed a certain value to it. So all that is to say, $50 for a 200-piece set feels not great, but when I take into consideration the age and the figures and all of the other market stuff, I think I got a fair deal for this, so I'm pretty pleased with it. And I really enjoyed building this. I think the figures are pretty good, but, you know, they don't have leg printing or arm printing or midsection printing. Krypto is really cool, and the builds are very fun, and there's play here and there's display. And there's something kind of extra here in that you can actually combine the Kryptonite prison set with set number 76097, which is the Lex Luthor mech takedown set. And they do show that at the back here, I believe. I think there's a picture of it. Oh yeah, right here. So that would be 76097, so that's one that maybe comes with like Flash and Batman and Wonder Woman, and I don't even know who else, Lex Luthor and some other ones, and this one comes with Flash and Cyclops and you know, all different people. But you can take that Lex Luthor mech and kind of add the Kryptonite prison to it and kind of make it bigger and weirder, and then also have the prison kind of as part of the mech. Now, that's one of the reasons why I was thinking maybe they have these clips on here. That might be how it connects to that Lex Luthor mech. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to try to get that set. I don't know if that one's, you know, crazy expensive too, but it looks like I would be interested in seeing how this combines. It doesn't look like it's the most elegant combination, not like the one thing I looked at with like a Monkey Kid mech and a Monkey Kid like dragon jet thing. I thought that combined like really in a cool way, or some of the recent Ninjago stuff where you can swap out different pieces. But adding this to a Lex Luthor mech might be kind of fun, and I like that that's a possibility. So I'm assuming that's what the clips are for, but I could be totally wrong, and I'll try to look into that one for the future. But overall, this was a very enjoyable set and enjoyable video for me to make. And yeah, not something I really have seen a ton of, that is Superman sets, or, you know, Krypto in the Lego format, or Lobo in the Lego form. So I think that's really cool. I think this is a pretty solid build. This is totally fine. So I feel good about it. I like this set, and I liked recording this video. This was very fun, so thank you very much. And I think that's it. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more LEGO DC superhero sets, probably that Lex Luthor mech attack set or whatever, and then, you know, Batman, Superman, other sets from superheroes, DC stuff, but then tons of other LEGO sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, old sets, new sets, retired sets, sometimes used sets, lots of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of those upcoming LEGO videos. We are on the road officially to 2,000 subscribers, so thank you everybody for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, maybe consider doing it. We are, as of recording this, still above the 1,000 subscribers, which is crazy, and there'll be a giveaway video announced soon, maybe before this comes out, maybe somewhat after. I'm sort of planning that all out and getting the rules and legality and everything in place. But thank you very much to everyone who subscribes and likes and comments. And then if you wanted to support this channel in a different way by giving me money, you could do that here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. And I have the Patreon. It's in the video description on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. So like I said, those are ways to give the channel money, which will all go back into, you know, funding the purchase of more LEGO sets that I can talk about here, but also just keeping the channel running and lowering the financial burden of the stuff I do here. It's not needed. It's not necessary. I love doing this, and if I didn't like doing it, I wouldn't continue to do it. I don't make money, or I haven't made money from any of this stuff. I'm not in LAN. I'm, you know, it's the LEGO Ambassador Network. I'm not affiliated with any companies, so this is all just a passion thing for me, and if anybody out there wants to support it in another way, there are avenues for that, so maybe consider checking those things out. Thank you very much, and with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.